Hey everyone, welcome to the Captain Drone YouTube channel. My name is Steve and I am a drone pilot, but I also drive motorcycles, yes! So my plan today is to go out for a motorcycle ride, and I do have the DJI Mini 3 Pro drone with me. The reason I'm bringing the drone with me on this motorcycle ride is because we've had a lot of flooding. Right now it's early May in the year 2023. Had a lot of flooding, and I'm going to drive out along the river to the flood zones and check out what the flooding looks like. So it should be pretty interesting. So I've got the Mini 3 Pro along with the controller, some extra batteries, and a few other items in this tank bag. There you go. You can probably get a good look at it here. You can see everything in the tank bag, and this just fits on my motorcycle over here. And if you're wondering what type of motorcycle this is my 2004 Honda VFR. It's a pretty old bike, but it still runs. Just magnetically attaches. There we go. Now, so that I capture some footage while I'm driving to the locations, I have my helmet, and on top I have the Insta360 X3 camera. This is a 360 degree camera, which means it has a lens on either side. It's going to film 360 degrees as I'm driving, and it's up to me when I get home to edit the video to show you whatever direction I want. So that way I don't have to have a camera pointing this way, pointing that way, and taking different video. It does it all at once. All right, so I guess the next thing to do is just see if my bike actually starts up. This old baby runs and purrs like a kitten normally, but I do need to put gas in it. Yeah, that's last year's gas. So it kind of runs a little not as purring, more growling. The GPS is programmed to guide me to the flooded areas along the Ottawa River. Alright, so I'm all set to go. Now the X3 camera on my helmet gives this type of image, and I can look anywhere I want as I'm driving, so it's pretty cool. Now I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm going to speed up my journey a bit. First thing I'm going to do on this adventure is stop for some gas, because I'm using last year's gas and the motorcycle's running a bit rough. Even though I put fuel line stabilizer in it over the winter, it's still a little rough. Here I'm pointing at our Canadian fuel prices per liter. So on this day that I was filling up, it is $1.40 a liter. However, on the first ride of every year, I always fill the tank with premium gas. And on this day, the premium gas was $1.70 per liter. So 13 liters of gas cost me just over $23 Canadian. And now with a full tank of gas, it's time to get this adventure underway. Now, if you're not familiar with the camera I'm using on my helmet, which is the Insta360 X3, it is a 360 degree camera, and that means when you're editing the video, you can do some crazy things like this. Now as this journey progresses, I'm traveling farther and farther outside the city, so I'm in the countryside here. And now I'm slowing down to go through the little town of Cumberland, but we want to speed up this video, so let's just speed up the video and get to our destination. On my left you can see the Ottawa River, and this is the river that is higher than normal at this time of the year, and this is what is causing all the flooding. So what I'm doing here is parking my motorcycle, because I'm going to take out the DJI Mini 3 Pro, fly it up in the air, head out to where all the flooding is, and capture some footage. Here we have a community along the Ottawa River, and you can see the river has risen so high that it's coming over the banks and it's flooding the whole area. So your driveway is underwater, your street is underwater, your backyard is underwater, everything's underwater. Even the islands out in the Ottawa River, well, they're underwater too, as you can see here. Here's a close-up looking at one of the houses. This is their driveway going down to the street. You can see the street is underwater, so I guess they have to walk in the water to go to a grocery store or take a boat. Here I am flying back to my location. Alright, so that's one task accomplished. Now I'm going to go to a ferry that normally takes cars across the river, but it is apparently closed due to the flooding, so I'm going to go check it out. Back on the motorcycle, our adventure continues, heading to location number 2. And yes, if anybody is wondering, the road is closed, but my motorcycle fits through nicely. Straight ahead is the ferry docking port, but I'm going to park my motorcycle here and walk down to it. As I'm making my journey, I decide, you know what, wouldn't it be simpler just to go grab the Mini 3 Pro and fly it out there? Yeah, let's do that instead. As I approach the ferry docking area, I can see the flooding starts immediately behind that pickup truck. Normally, this would be a parking lot made of concrete on which to park your car. There would be no water, there would be no gravel, no sand. These are just items to protect the concrete from eroding due to the flooding. When the ferry is operational, you would drive along this concrete path. There would be no gravel, up onto the ferry, and then it would take you over to the province of Quebec, which is straight across the river. From this angle, you get a good view of the ferry dock. You can see it's all but submerged. Alright, time to bring the Mini 3 Pro back to me, and I have to watch out for the electrical wires on the way down. A little bit tricky, but it lands fine. Next, I'm going to head to my local beach and see how badly it has been affected by all this flooding. Here I've arrived at my local beach and I can see that my city has set up a sandbagging station. This is where local residents would come to fill up sandbags and then take those sandbags back to their residence to block the water. Time to get the Mini 3 Pro out and let's go check out the flooding. What you see before me is the road underwater that I normally take to access my local beach. Now this road is rather long, so I'm speeding up the video until I get to the beach area. And now we're at the beach, and normally what you would see would be beach sand everywhere. Unfortunately, the beach sand is below the water. At the end of the beach we have a seating area, which is quite popular, but here it is underwater. The only structure not affected by the water would be the beach house that you can see over on the right, but pretty much everything else is affected by the water in one way or another. Unfortunately, flooding like this usually erodes the beach, and it does take a few months to clean up. It's happened in the past, and the beach has not been the greatest for the first few months of the summer, but eventually everything works itself out. As you can see here, this person has put some possessions in an inner tube and they're pushing it out to their destination. Alright, time to bring the Mini 3 Pro back to me. The next destination is to travel back home and finish this video. Whoa, it is super sunny out here. My skin is glowing. Look at my skin is normally white, but now it's like glowing white. Anyways, thanks for joining me on that adventure, and taking adventures like that makes me just want to retire and just motorcycle ride all the time. So much so that check out my t-shirt. Yes, one day, that's what it will be. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to get the X3 360 Insta360 camera, links to it are below. If you don't have a DJI Mini, Mini 3, Mini whatever, I'll put some links to some DJI Minis below. Go check it out. All right, guys, catch you in the next video. Bye.